Today we're at Luther Burbank Park in Mercer Island, Washington. We have a hazardous tree that's partway fallen across a pedestrian path and a driveway, and we're here to remove it. We'll walk through here. When that tree partly fell, as you can see, it's a big cottonwood tree, and it got hung up in these ashes. When it partly fell, that limb kind of fell across the road. I came here days ago to look this over, and I thought about cutting that out of the way, and thought, no, I'm going to leave that there because it's a deterrent. Right? People, if I cut that out of the way now, people might see the opening and they might walk around the signs that say keep out. So I left that there. We're going to cut it now just enough that we can get that truck under it, because as you can see on the front of this truck there's a winch, and our plan is to get this truck set up down below. I already put a rope in it yesterday, which you can't really see, and I'm hoping that works because I was able to set it from the ground. I'm hoping to connect the winch to the rope, and just ideally I can pull this thing over without having to cut it at all, and get it on the ground without having to cut it at all.
So you're just gonna pull it with the truck?
That's ideal. I mean, it's broken at the butt. What you can't see from here is it's broken at the butt, and I'm just hoping that we can just pull it over onto the ground. If we can do that, that will save me the risk of having to stand at the butt of it and cut it, and so that Mike can pull it over with the winch. So,
all right.
Hopefully we can just pull it over with the winch, get it on the ground, and then cut it up. And I'll survive today. So. See, the tree literally split right in half. Can you see that?
Yep.
And you know, again, it's quite possible I'm still going to have to cut it as he pulls it. But what I'm hoping we can do is, like I say, is just pull on it, and I'm hoping that's sufficient, but we'll see. Okay, so you see how it's pushing on that ash tree, right? Yeah. If I just went under there and we didn't have this winch on here, and I cut that, it would, the butt end would probably come down, you know, right in the direction of me. I don't want that, obviously. That's why I want to get as much pressure on this, pulling it this way as possible. Because what I don't want is to have mediocre pressure on it, or no pressure as we have right now. And because when I do that, then that butt end wants to go that way. If you got pressure coming this way and I cut it from the other side, and when you hear me running that saw, you keep your finger on that button and keep pulling it, okay? Okay, pulling on that winch.
Yep.
I'm really hoping that whole tree just says, ah! If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to run in there, I'll disappear, I'll start cutting. Once I start cutting, something's gonna have to let go. All right, let's do it.
Yep.
So I came yesterday, I threw a rope all the way over the top. It's a little thin nylon line that you can throw a lot farther than you can throw a rope.
Oh, okay.
It's got a weight bag on it. So I tossed it over there from the ground, which as you can see is a long way. It's just a string.
Okay.
You throw it over. Then when the weight carries it all the way to the ground, you take the weight off, tie your rope to it, then you use the little string to pull the rope over.
Pull it over, yeah, okay.
Then I come back and did the same thing again. I threw it in between those two stems, you see? Again, hook the rope again there and pull it so my rope is going over the top stem but not over the bottom stem. Then you set what's called a running bowline on the rope. You tie that and then pull it up so that you got cinch knot of your rope around the trunk of the tree without having to climb up there. Problem is, something got it hung up and it's not completely cinched. So when we start to put real pressure on it, meaning a lot more pressure than this, which I pulled as hard as I could, when you put real pressure on it, that knot's going to cinch up, and I could lose 10 feet of leverage. So that's why I want as much winch as cable as possible.
So what's the plan with the second tree?
Second tree, I got to climb up there. I can't set the rope from the ground because it's too far up. But conversely, it's also relatively upright, so I can it's still leaning, but relatively upright, so I can climb it. And so I'm going to go up there, put a rope on it, drop the rope down, do the same thing we did there, connect it to the winch. Rather than trying to break it off completely, because I've got to pull it farther, probably going to make a sort of a cut on this side, and try to get it to make it a little more likely to pull it where we want it to. So, okay. All right, now I just got to go up there and get this rope in. It's a multi-stem, 2-stem cottonwood tree, and it failed where they were joined. Literally, it's kind of like the expression, they were joined at the hip. They were joined all the way at the base, or the 2 stems were joined all the way at the base, and it just failed. And decay builds up in that crotch, and that's where you can see all the decay, and that's where it failed. Thanks for following Root Cause. Make sure you like and subscribe.